push the limits of two young men, both born with physical disabilities.
When Cameron and Ivan met, they found they had a lot they could learn from each other.
Hi, I'm Ivan Parsons and I'm 17 years old.
G'day, I'm Cameron Leslie and I'm 20 years old.
I live at home with my parents.
I live in a student flat and basically I do what I want when I want.
Girls, not too interested in me at the moment.
I've had my fair share of girlfriends along the way.
Ivan Parsons is about to finish school. The next step is to leave home, but he's not sure how he'll cope. Cameron Leslie's a uni student and a Paralympic gold medalist. He knows how to achieve goals, and he's eager to help Ivan. They've planned a boys' trip, a bit of skiing, a bit of fun, and a chance to brainstorm Ivan's bid for independence.
Being a young man with disability, it's more about being... It's an acceptance thing, I feel. It's kind of, you know, you're accepting that you're disabled and you're like, that's beside the point. I'm a young man, I am a man, I've got to be a man for the rest of my life, so you kind of got to take on that persona of, and to find a way to make it work for you, I guess.
Ivan's life began in Russia. His early years were a world apart from Cameron's babyhood. Born with obvious disabilities, Ivan was subjected to Russian law, which dictated children with disabilities be raised in institutions.
I was taken away from my parents due to me having a disability and put in an orphanage.
Ivan spent more than a year in a crowded orphanage before fate took a turn.
And then a lady from New Zealand just came over and adopted me, and we came over here and we were put into a family, and then it was tough for a while because the adoptees changed their minds about it. And what actually happened was they asked my parents now to look after me for a while they sorted out what they were going to do. And my parents now looked after me for a while and they fell in love with me and adopted me.
Embraced by loving new parents, Ivan developed into a confident little boy with a cheeky grin and lots of spunk. They've been a happy family ever since. But as Ivan's moved into his teenage years, his confidence has taken a dive. The thought of leaving the nest and making a life on his own is daunting. Truth be told, he can't cook or dress himself and relies on others.
When you have someone there to help you all the time, you don't exactly feel like you're a man, I suppose. And so when you can do things for yourself, it's really encouraging and really, like I said, empowering.
A year ago, Ivan shifted to a private school in the city. He's away from his old mates. It's lonely.
It was hard to walk into a school every day and no one wanted to be a friend. Sometimes I didn't want to get out of the car. Just didn't want to have to enter that atmosphere where no one wanted to be friends or, no one wanted to know you. The only people that really wanted to talk to you is your teachers. I'll admit I probably smile on the outside. I make a shell, an outer shell that's it's nice and smiley, but on the inside probably hurting quite a bit. So it's difficult as well because when no one's interested in all your mates are going out and getting girlfriends and stuff like that, and they're going out to parties with them, and you're sort of left by yourself. It's hard.
Yeah, it would be pretty fair to say that I'm not really too fussed on what other people have to think about my disability and things like that. You take me for how I am.
Cameron's a country boy. All the kids in the district knew him from the day he was born. He was super comfortable with his disability. In the teenage years, he became more self-conscious. It was only then that he bothered getting prosthetic legs, so he'd be able to stand alongside his mates.
When I first went flatting, it was a bit of a learning curve. Wasn't quite ready to be thrown into the world of cooking meals for yourself every single night of the week, especially when you've only got probably one dish up your sleeve. But yeah, we've moved on from there, and now I've learnt a couple other dishes and can cook a whole week's meals for myself. Chicken schnitzel, some roast veggies, probably my forte, I guess.
With the ladies,
I don't know, I guess I try and be myself. I don't draw attention to my disability. I don't think it's something I should have to tell them, yeah, that shouldn't be taken into account. I guess I go, okay, I've got not a bad track record. I'd say I've got a pretty decent track record for someone my age, yeah. I hope. Jumping in a car and being independent it's huge. It makes a huge difference to me. It means I can be the places where I want to be. You know, I can go off and meet up with someone who I want to. So yeah, let's go for a drive. I thought that Ivan, being 17 years old, I thought he would have taken a lot more ownership for looking after himself. You know, just little things like getting yourself dressed and making breakfast and things like that. I thought he would have not allowed someone else to do that for him. I know myself as a 17-year-old, I wouldn't have let someone else put my clothes on for me. We're going to Wanaka, and all I know of it so far is that I'm going to meet Ivan, going to go down there and learn how to ski, teach him a few things of, you know, looking after yourself, I guess, how to be a young man, I guess, how to be a young man and be proud of being a young man with a disability, I guess. Yeah, basically become bros, I guess, at the end of the week, I hope.
Ivan never travels alone. Tom's a little like a personal assistant. He's paid to help Ivan shower, dress, and get out the door on time.
I don't know much about Cameron. I know he hasn't skied before. I know he's a swimmer. I know he's a gold medalist. But that's really all I know.
Quite keen to show Ivan / brainstorm with him ways that he can do things for himself, like dressing yourself and things like that.
It could be really, really helpful. But I'm also cautious because I don't know. I mean, I understand he wants to help, but I also understand that our disabilities are very different. And so, you know, the way he does something is different to the way I do it.
I don't know, we'll see if we can meet the ladies down there, see if we can strike up conversation, just get comfortable talking to other people.
Cameron's travelled the world for swimming competitions. He's used to being on his own and doing things for himself. For Ivan, this is a rare trip away from home.
First time I went away by myself, I freaked out. I wanted to go home, and I did. Get the helmet and stuff out first. But I think it's all part of the stepping stones to more independence. How long since I've been away on my own? I think 7 months. I haven't been away since I went to AC/DC in Wellington with Tom, actually. When I have Tom, he helps me, and he was my teacher aide, so we're sort of used to that kind of stuff now. So.
Cameron's taking Ivan in hand.
Okay.
Time to make a man out of him.
We need a trolley. Okay. Now, what are we making?
Beats me.
The supermarket. For Ivan, it's like a new frontier.
Good salad, but a salad.
Yeah, a salad. Let's stick to a salad.
I suppose as a 17-year-old, I was kind of similar to Ivan in a way. I still was, you know, living at home, very reliant on Mum and Dad's help for certain things, cooking being a main one. Some roast veggies, eh?
Roast veggies.
What do you like appealing?
Interesting. Never really done peeling much before.
Never tried it? All right, we'll do it then.
All right, we'll do it just for the fun of it.
I definitely think I was probably a little bit more independent and things like that. But then again, his disability is different to mine, so it takes people different times to adjust to their disabilities, I guess. Make sure you grab ones that are easy to peel.
What would you describe as easy to peel?
Evenly shaped.
Evenly shaped. It was quite an interesting experience. Cameron knew a lot more than I did. Cameron flats with other people now, so he has to learn how to do things and cook things and stuff. So I wasn't too surprised that he knew more than me when we were at the supermarket.
When we're in there and stuff like that, it's like think of stuff for a salad. It's like, oh, so what goes with the salad? Come on.
I'm coming.
Lettuce. I don't know, some capsicums, yeah, bit of this, bit of that. So you don't actually cook many meals yourself, do you?
No.
Do you cook very often?
No, not at all, really, to tell the truth. But this will be an interesting step.
You'll be able to do it, I reckon, eh?
Oh, yeah, I'll do it, but...
Well, hell, if I can cook...
Yeah. OK, so there's the chicken.
They've settled on chicken, schnitzel and roast vegetables.
All right, so...
Nothing flash, but even this is ambitious.
Cutting stuff and things like that?
Yeah, like I can cut and I can't peel.
You can't peel. I hope you can peel, because at least it's a peeler I can use.
I can partially peel, I think. It'll be interesting, we'll see. Everyone just might be eating partially peeled potatoes.
Like big bits of skin on them.
It's no award-winning cuisine.
Alright, there we go.
They're finding their own way around the kitchen.
Well, we're putting out the crumbs so we can just toss the chicken into it and crumb it. Just brilliant idea. Cameron's idea. I'll give him. He can have that idea.
We could peel first, because that'll take the longest. Sorry, rephrase that. What are you peeling, buddy?
Great. Okay, what am I peeling?
You're peeling pretty much everything, because that peeler doesn't like me. Do we have chopping
This
boards?
is going to be really interesting. Right, isn't it better to come up on it?
When it came to the peeling and chopping of things, I think I kind of set Ivan up a little bit. Yeah, I didn't intentionally do it, but getting him to peel a kumara first,
And the peel.
they're not the easiest for me to peel, or let alone anyone peel.
Number of times I've peeled, including this. This is probably my second time. And I think it's only my second time because I probably gave up last time. Dinner could be quite late tonight. Shut up.
You are making a meal of that, man. I have to say, I did admire his perseverance with it. He really did give it a decent crack. Yeah, it's a whole trial and error thing. You're going to find a way for you to peel it, and it'll work.
Pretty good so far, pretty good.
There's going to be no giving up here, mate. We're not quitters in the Leslie Academy.
I said I'm in an academy.
Kind of like police academy.
You're in my skiing academy tomorrow.
Yes.
Cunning Cameron's chosen the non-peel cucumber.
You sound so nannerish saying it, but when you go into like home and living places like that, they've got all sorts of home stuff. Keep your eye open for stuff that may just be really helpful to you. Do you know how to crack an egg?
No, I do not. So I'm going to watch how you do it, and then I'm going to...
Watch and try and figure out what I do, because I don't even know. Right.
Okay, so... Can you hear a resounding... All right.
Your turn, mate.
Let's see. Okay, so...
Hold on.
Can't even crack it open.
Give it a decent one.
Okay. Okay, so...
Maybe give it another...
If you had asked me a week ago to crack an egg for you, I would have said no way. Unless you would have wanted the shell in with the yolk, because I would have...
It worked?
I would have not thought I could have done it, but I can.
And no shell, so pretty good.
And no shells. Right. So and that was really exciting. That was exciting because I know that's one thing I'll be able to do when I move out and when I go flatting is be able to... I think that was just the edge of what I'll be able to do when I start cooking. And so it was a really nice experience. Dressing. Okay, so this is our Cam Van Supreme.
Mate, I reckon that looks pretty bloody good.
I think so. I'm very impressed with how it came out, actually.